What's up, nail fiends? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I created this nail art design. This is actually part 2 of my Glitter Planet UK videos. This one I'm going to be showing you, like I said, how I did this design, and I'm also going to be using the products that I showed you in my last video. So yeah, if you guys would like to see how I completed this look from start to finish, then just keep on watching. So lovelies, before we dive into today's video, I just wanted to share with you guys the products that I'm going to be using. So the practice tips I'm using today are from Glitter Planet UK as well, and these are their long nail tips, and I'm also going to be using their acrylic system. So this is the trial kit that I showed you in my last video. So I'm going to be using their Nailmate monomer and also warm beige and clear. And then another couple of little nail art bits I'm going to be using is first up their glitter mix in Blueberry Poison, and if you remember from my last video, it was one of my favourites from the ones I got, so I was so excited to use it. And then I'm also going to be using the chrome powder in True Rose. So guys, going in with the actual nail design, and I'm starting with the thumbnail. This one is going to be a full cover of that warm beige acrylic powder with some of that Blueberry Poison glitter on the tip. So I'm going in with small beads of that acrylic. This is just my personal way of applying acrylic. As you guys know, I'm still a beginner, and it just means I have more control of the bead. I prefer to work with a smaller brush and smaller beads. I'm sure as time goes on and I learn a little bit more, I will get quicker and be able to work with slightly larger beads, but for now this is just the way I like to do it. So I'm going in, like I said, with those smaller wet beads of acrylic, and I'm applying this to the whole nail. I'm slightly building that nail up as well, but as I get to the tip of the nail, I'm allowing that acrylic to get slightly thinner, and that is because I'm going to be putting some of that glitter onto the tip, and I didn't want it to be too bulky. And then I'm just going to clean off my acrylic brush, and then I'm going in with that clear acrylic powder, and again I'm using small wet beads of that, and I'm applying that to the bottom half of that nail, and then working that up slightly into where that apex area is. And then onto that wet acrylic, I'm going to be applying this Blueberry Poison glitter mix, which is a really beautiful sort of like teal blue with mix of like a little bit of a steel blue in there, and some really beautiful pinky rose colour as well. It is absolutely gorgeous. So as you can see, I am just applying this to that nail, and then I'm making sure I have enough acrylic so I could just get a really nice opacity of that glitter, and it completely covers the bottom of that nail. So guys, we are now moving on with the pointer nail, and what I did with the pointer finger, also the middle finger and also the pinky, was go in with some of that clear acrylic powder and just build that nail up slightly, because I am going to be using gel polish on the rest of this, but I am encapsulating it like the other fingers, so I wanted them to basically match in structure. So I just went in with a thin layer of clear acrylic on all of those nails, and then I went in with my gel polish later on. And then for the ring finger, this one was a little bit different. I did a sort of like colour block for the base of my nail. So I started with that clear acrylic powder on the tip of the nail. I did just basically a thin coat of that, and then I also went in with that warm beige on the top of the nail, and I did that basically because I wanted to add some glitter and things like that to the middle of the nail, but I also wanted to paint the bottom. So again, it was just building the structure. You could go in with the whole cover, but I just decided to make it a little bit difficult for myself and do it this way. So now that I have applied all of the acrylic to all of those nails, I am now going to go in and start preparing my base. So when I go in with my gel polish, I have a smooth base to put it on. So I basically am using my Ravair dust extractor, and that is what is in the corner of the screen there. And I'm just going to go ahead and file and shape those nails and then give the surface of the nail a really good buff. So again, like I said, all of those deep scratches are gone and I have a smooth canvas for my gel polishes. And finally guys, here is a quick update of the nails. So this is once I have applied my base acrylic to all of the nails and I've filed and buffed everything ready for my nail art design. So starting with the middle finger, I'm first going in with a lint-free wipe and just wiping away any excess dust and preparing that nail for my gel polish. And then I'm going in with Premier Gel's white gel polish and I'm applying 2 coats of this to that nail, and I'm going to cure each layer for 30 seconds. Obviously with Glitter Planet UK not having their own gel polishes, I went in with my next favourite, which was Premier Gel, but you could also use their white acrylic powder, but I didn't have it at the time of this video, but I have since gone ahead and made an order for some more of their acrylics. So then I went in with my matte top coat to prepare my nail for my inks. So moving on with the actual marble guys, I'm going to be using 3 of Glitter Planet UK's new alcohol inks. I'm using blue, aqua and also red, and I'm also going to be using their blending fluid as well. So moving on to the actual marble design guys, and now that you know the colours I'm going to be using, I'm starting with the blue one and I'm starting at the cuticle area and I'm going right down to the tip of that nail. But as you can see, I'm not basically flowing that product down the nail, I'm touching that product onto the nail, and that way I am creating different dimensions of that ink. So every time that alcohol ink touches the nail, it's going to spread into different parts, creating more dimension on your design. And you can see here that I am just going in with that same blue and I'm basically just working that in, and that is exactly what I'm doing. I'm creating those little marbly veins and a really nice smoky effect. And then I switch over to my blending fluid and I'm just basically going to go into various parts of this nail and again take away that alcohol ink in some parts and enhance it in others, and it's just going to give the illusion of a really nice smoky effect. And then when I was happy with this, I swapped over to the aqua one, and you could see that I am sparingly adding this, going in the different direction from the blue, and again you could see that this just is creating a really nice smoky appearance on the nail, but given that marble like different dimensions, if that makes any sense. And then I'm going in with the red one, and this is going to just bring this marble into a really beautiful sort of like earthy tone type feel. I absolutely loved how this one turned out, but you could see that I am switching over from my inks to the blending fluid and I'm just working them in and creating the effect that I want. And this is super easy to do. You really do not have to be skilled in any way, shape or form to do this, and I'm not even kidding when I say this guys. As soon as you apply that top coat, it's like magic happens. It just brings all of those colours together and it looks absolutely seamlessly and beautiful. So for the next step in this marble, to really bring this one to life, I decided to switch over to my smaller brush. I like to use my Rubeloff brush when I'm doing marbling, simply because it's got a really nice pointed tip and it allows me to work on those little vein parts of the marble and just bring a lot more character to it. So you can see here that I'm using a little bit of nail cleanser and I'm just going in and I'm adding blobs of that into some places, and then I'm tilting the nail up so it basically runs and creates really nice effects going down the whole marble and not so much in one spot, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that to the whole nail with that brush. And then when I was happy with that, I went ahead and sealed that part of my design in with some No Wipe Gel top coat, and this one is also by Premier Gel. It's their High Shine top coat. I absolutely love it, and it has firmly become one of my favourites. But guys, just look at how awesome this marble looks as soon as you put top coat on, and it was just literally a few simple steps and a little bit of blending. There was no skill whatsoever, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. So you could most definitely leave that marble as it is, but I wanted to add a little bit more dimension to mine. So I'm going in with my number 2 and my number 0 Rubelov brushes, and also my black gel paints. And I'm starting on a dry surface first. So I'm going in with the black, and as you can see, I'm just creating really thin lines on various parts of this nail, and this is going to act as the shadow in my marble. And then I will switch over to my number 2 brush, and then I will go ahead and use some acetone to just mottle out those lines. So again, we are creating the illusion of smoke. And now you will see just how much of that black I actually removed from the nail. But as I put the alcohol on with the brush, it's creating these really minute black lines that are going through that marble. So again, the eye doesn't automatically catch them, but when you're looking closely at the nail, you will see all of the different dimensions and all of the different parts that we have added. And again, it just gives your marble a lot more character than the basic one colour and top coat. So guys, we are now switching over to that white sugar effect gel, but this time I'm applying a layer of that No Wipe Gel top coat again. But before I cure it, I am going to start working on that wet layer, and that just gives a different appearance to the white lines as opposed to the black ones. Again, it's all about dimension, it's all about adding character to the nail, so it has various degrees of colour, lighting and shadows. I really love how you could play with different techniques with this marble to bring it all together for one seamless look. So again, you could see that I'm working on that wet layer of gel, and I'm really taking away a lot of that white gel, but I'm creating these really nice smoky mottled lines, which again don't automatically catch that eye right away, but when you're looking at them, you will see them nicely on that nail. And then again, I finish off this design by going in with some silver gel paint. I think this one is called Halo Ring, and that's by Kiki London. It's my favourite really nice pigmented silver, so I'm applying some of this to various parts of that nail. And then my last and final steps for this nail was to go in with some silver nail foil, and I'm using my brush just to disperse this into that sticky inhibition layer. And I just want to say, guys, I know I said it in my last video, but I'm going to say it again, these are fabulous inks. They are well worth their £4.50. They are super pigmented, and compared to the AliExpress ones, they are so easy to work with. They blend amazingly well together, and you really do not need to have like loads of different colours to create really beautiful nails. They are just such a simple way to create some flawless nail art with minimal fuss. So we are now moving on with the ring finger, and this one is again going to be a marble nail, but as you can see, I have gone ahead and done a sort of colour block. Again, I am going in first with the blue one, and then I just follow with the rest of the colours. I have gone ahead and completely sped up this process for you guys, but this one I wanted it to be a little bit more pigmented in colour, so you will notice that I have added a little bit more of the ink. And then I switch over again to my little brush here, and I just disperse that ink, blend the colours together, and then I will go ahead and do the same techniques I did with the silver, the black and the white on this nail as well. And then when I was finished with my marble on this nail, I did go in with a little bit of that No Wipe Gel top coat again by Premier Gel, and just secured in that ink part of the nail, because I am going in now with some acrylic and some glitter, and I didn't want the inks to bleed. And then once again, I'm going in with that clear acrylic powder and also that glitter in Blueberry Poison. And I'm applying this in a diagonal slant, just where the cover powder meets my marble. And just look at how well they go together. I am absolutely in love with this glitter. I'm not even kidding when I say this, guys. Probably one of my favourite glitters that I have purchased in a long time. And then to finish off this nail, I went ahead and used that clear acrylic powder and I just encapsulated that whole nail. I also encapsulated my marble. Don't worry though, it did not get in the way of the clarity of that marble. This acrylic powder is super clear. When I say it's a clear acrylic powder, it is absolutely just a beautiful powder to work with. And then when I was finished filing and I top coated, my marble was exactly the way I wanted it to be. And then I also went ahead and encapsulated that thumbnail with that clear acrylic powder as well. And finally guys, once I had completely left that acrylic powder to set, I then went in with first my 100 grit hand file and I just made sure the side walls and everything were nice and even. And then when I had finished filing the nail, I went in with my buffer just to smooth out the surface. So again, when I went in with my top coat, I had a smooth canvas. And I repeated the same process on all of the nails that I applied the glitter to, so that is the thumbnail and also the ring finger. And now guys, we are moving on with the pointer finger, and this one I am doing 2 coats of Premier Gels number 220, which is a really beautiful navy blue. So again, like I said, I go in with 2 coats, curing each for 30 seconds in between. And then off camera for this nail, I went ahead and added some of that silver foil just to tie that in with the rest of my design. So last but definitely not least, we are moving on with the pinky nail, and this one is going to be the chrome nail. So I first started with this Premier Gel pink gel polish, and I only applied 1 coat of this to the nail, and then I went in with a no wipe gel top coat. And then we are going to be burnishing this absolutely beautiful True Rose pigment into this nail. Just look at how gorgeous that is over that pink nail polish. So I'm, again, like you see, I'm first going in with that little applicator and then I will use my finger. And then guys, my last and final steps for this nail design was to finish off with a high shine top coat. So once again, I'm using that Premier Gel's high shine no wipe top coat, which if you haven't already realised is actually one of my absolute favourites and really has become one of my staples in my nail polish collection. So I'm just going in and I'm applying a thin coat of this to all of those nails, and then I pop that into my LED light for a full 60 seconds, and that is this design complete. And since I've had so many of you asking, here is me leaving you completely with a little bit of top coat porn. Just look at how beautiful this comes together with that shiny top coat. And finally, lovelies, this is what my design looks like once everything is done, and I must admit I am so in love with how this one turned out. With just a few simple products, I really feel like these nails look far more bougier than they actually are. You guys know how much I highly recommend Glitter Planet UK's products, but one product that I seriously think you guys need in your collection is those alcohol inks. They are just so bloody good and so easy to create. Some simple nail designs, like I said, with really minimal fuss, and I just love them, and they are definitely a product that I would highly recommend. And finally, lovelies, that is us reached the end of today's video, and I really hope you enjoyed my design / review of Glitter Planet UK. And if you did enjoy today's video, please give me a thumbs up, I would totally appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel and you haven't already, don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit that notifications bell to be updated anytime I upload a new video. And as always, if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.